at $4.80. Has been racing really consistently in the highways leading up to this. So up they come, moving into the gates quite well. And Soul Choice, first run back from the break. She's been given a good grounding for this with some solid barrier trials. And first up over a mile, she did win the Tasmanian Oaks last preparation. So Sky Diamonds is moving in for Tyler Schiller, and the last two now, Peshmerga, who won a lead-up trial here on the synthetic with Jay Ford in the saddle, and Chase My Crown now is the last. So it's a very windy day here at Warwick Farm. It's hot but windy, and they'll be running into a headwind in the straight. It's a northwesterly wind, so the wind will be coming in from their right side up the straight. Light is on, the gates are back, and they're racing in the first, and Kibosh jumped well, so did Kahawati, who races to a narrow lead with Soul Choice breathing down her neck, and now Peshmerga strides up on the outside with the intent of leading. Kibosh settles in fourth, followed by Sky Diamonds, a gap to Chase My Crown, and Black Comb is going to settle back last of all, so Peshmerga crossed the lot under there, and at the 1200 metres, Peshmerga races two in front to Soul Choice. Kibosh now third on the inside of Kahawati, so Kahawati was first out, but eases back to fourth and has some cover now, followed by Chase My Crown on the rail. Sky Diamond next, and 2 lengths away to the morning line favourite Black Comb, who's about 6 lengths off the lead. Peshmerga shows the way by a length on Soul Choice. Kibosh third, a neck back on the outside is Kahawati, followed then by Sky Diamond shading Chase My Crown, and still racing back last of all is Black Comb, and still about 6 lengths off the lead. They've got about 600 metres to go. Peshmerga on top by a length and a half to Soul Choice. Then Kibosh, Kahawati. Now Black Comb is stoked up from the rear, starting a run. And further back to Chase My Crown as they come to the home corner. Peshmerga just the leader from Soul Choice is a half length away. Then Kahawati 3 out and 4 out is Black Comb as they flatten for the run home now. Peshmerga in front from Soul Choice. Kahawati. Black Comb trying to grab the leading division. It's Soul Choice, brave up front. Soul Choice put the head in front from Peshmerga. Soul Choice lifted out there by Hieronymus, and Soul Choice won the first, beat Peshmerga. Black Comb third, Chase My Crown fourth. Followed home by Kahawati, then Sky Diamonds, and Kibosh was last.
1, 2, 3 and 6. Soul Choice was there to be beaten, but when the going got tough, she was able to find that little bit more. Peshmerga on the inside was brave in defeat, paying $5.20 the place too, albeit with no third divvy. Black Comb fills that spot, and then the 6, Chase My Crown, was good late into that fourth spot. But it is the 4-year-old daughter of Redoubt's Choice that gets career victory number 4. Adam Hieronymus picks up 3 points in the Jockey Challenge and another win to that all-conquering stable, Waterhouse and Bott.
And justifying being well supported there, $3.20 on the New South Wales tote at the finish. So a good win there. First up, 60 kilos, giving away race fitness. Just took a trail there in behind Peshmerga. Lovely ride by Adam Hieronymus, riding with a little bit of cover, presenting her at the right time, and she was simply too strong at the end. So coming through the Vinery, the ATC Oaks, obviously some depth to that form, and it's good to see her back now as a 4-year-old. And you'd think she'd only be improved off that as she gets out to 2,000 metres. Was a Tasmanian Oaks winner just last campaign. So came a long way in her first preparation. On the strength of that, there's every chance that she can go right on with the job. Good to see Peshmerga return with a nice run there. It was an on-speed dominated race, which says that Black Combs did well to get as close as she did. She was out the back after not beginning all that well, and no real excuses for the rest of them. Chase My Crown and Kahawati was a little bit one pace there at the end. So, yep, good win, onwards and upwards, and maybe a bit better than this company.
Absolutely, a nice return over the 1600 here for a horse that's always going to thrive over further.
Yeah, no doubt. Obviously, you know, the form from her last preparation suggests that, but it was a tough campaign for her last time. She was well travelled, and you know, she did plenty of racing, so good to see her back in such great shape.
On that, with the Tasmanian Oaks under the belt, what's the plan this time in?
Yeah, I think we've still got a bit of room to move in the ratings there, so I just want to sort of take her through her grades, and as you said, just creep up in distance. I think she'll no doubt continue to improve in that regard, but I think if we can get up in class and sort of drop a little bit in weight, that'll help.
While we have you, Perfect Proposal in the next. Optimistic?
Yeah, certainly. She looks in good shape. I think she's taken good confidence from that most recent win. Her trial leading up to this was fantastic, so she's certainly as fit as she can be.
We've spoken almost every week about your juvenile winners, 2, and now as we hit a new season, 3-year-olds winning time and time again. You must have been pleased to see a few of them at the trials the other day. It felt like you won every single one.
I feel we've got some nice depth there, hopefully. So, yeah, hopefully we can carry that throughout the year again. But the team done a fabulous job in preparing them.
Okay, well done here.
Thanks very much.
Thanks very much to Adrian Bott. And yes, they do have a live chance in the next, that being Perfect Proposal, horse number 7, which is looking to make it back-to-back successes. Shani, we might come over to you. Adam Hieronymus was on board a few of those 2-year-olds that look very promising, and he's on a handy one here today.
Indeed, yes, he did trial some nice horses for the team, and he was aboard this mare in her last 2 trials actually, so he got a good feel for her. Ad, she trialled up nicely, and it was a nice first up performance.
Yeah, she did, so it's good to see her come to the perfect race for a mile first up, and everything she's been doing, this preparation's been very nice.
She had a bit of a flat spot there because she wants further overtime.
It's more so just the horse that led went well, quickened up nicely, and just took her a little bit to find her feet and get balanced, and once she did, she attacked the line nicely.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations to Adam Hieronymus. He's been riding particularly well lately, and good to see him steaming into the spring with a bit of momentum. So the 1 beats the 2 from the 3 and the 6. Soul Choice beats Peshmerga, who was brave there up on speed first up, and certainly has a big preparation ahead for Rob Quinn and the team. The 3, Black Comb, had to do a lot of work prior to the turn to get into the race, and ultimately just had to do too much work. The 6, Chase My Crown, hit the line well, and I thought Kahawati looked to have its chance. It was 1-1, peeled out at the right time, but those up on speed were just a bit too strong late. So 1, 2, 3 and 6, 1 race down.
Well, there. She sat up outside the leader, and she really toughed that out when the pressure went on. She looked a bit vulnerable there when they turned first up, but with that Gay and Adrian polish, she dug deep, and she was too good for Peshmerga. And the Tasmanian and Oaks winner, she won the Strut Stakes down there as well, ran second in the Launceston Guineas, and she'll be in for a good preparation. She's a good mare that's going to get over a little bit further of a trip, and she toughed that out very well, and the punters did not miss her. She was very heavily backed in the first.
Now, Sovereign Fund moving in with a red-coloured cap, and Masook will be the last in black colours. So Balkans has been pretty well backed. He looked good winning at Wyong on Cup Day. His trials leading up there, it suggested that he's well above average, the Lonhro Colt. And Balkans being handled here by Zach Lloyd is the $2.30 favourite with Perfect Proposal, who went down to Nowra to break the maiden. Did run into Moravia at its first run back this preparation, and Moravia nearly pinched the Golden Rose lead-up race the other day. Red light is on and we're ready to go. John Ramsey, 40-year service handicap. The gates are back. They're off and racing. Perfect Proposal dug up out of the gates off the inside. Balkans jump well. So did Rhythm of Love wide out. Perfect Proposals has the dash to lead him. Balkans will get the spot outside it. Just easing back a little bit in the third, Rhythm of Love, followed by Sovereign Fund, a length to Disneck, 2 after Masook. Well back in the field then in the early part is Fortress Australia, and Highborn Harry the outsiders last of all. Perfect Proposal leads them up by a neat length on the favourite Balkans, followed by Rhythm of Love on the outsiders Sovereign Fund. And this quartet still hold a significant gap on the balance of the field. Masook a distant 5th on the outsider Disneck, then Highborn Harry being shoved along. Fortress Australia's having trouble keeping up with them. Perfect Proposal leads around the corner. Lloyd sitting very quietly on the favourite Balkans, and quickly Balkans moved up to head off Perfect Proposal. Rhythm of Love the outside is laying it down to the favourite. Rhythm of Love on the outside of Balkans. Balkans facing the wind on the fence, bravely there, fighting off Rhythm of Love. Balkans with a kick from Rhythm of Love, and Balkans true strong beats Rhythm of Love, and Disneck third, a gap back to Sovereign Fund, followed by Masook, then Highborn Harry. Perfect Proposal weakened out, and Fortress Australia was last in the very good time, 109.08.
Yeah, 8, 4, 2 and 1. Fantastic win that by Balkans. I think it's fair to say may have been a touch out-sprinted by Rhythm of Love there towards the top of the straight, but once things got difficult, Balkans was able to find an extra gear, and that little bit of pedigree there by Lonhro out of Ottoman, an Exceed and Excel mare, was able to dig deep and find that additional little bit of ground for a win. In the end, Balkans has got home by a length. Rhythm of Love has run really well and has gone on from that maiden victory. Disneck at $4.50 the place, in for third, and a big gap back to Sovereign Fund, ultimately running fourth. But Balkans, it was a soft win there at Wyong, and I think it's fair to say he's gone on with the job here, Brad.
Yeah, fast time, big margins. This will be a strong form reference going forward. A confident ride there to sit outside the lead, applied the blowtorch to Perfect Proposal, who was no match there and eased out of the finish. So he's done a fantastic job to kick back, and at start 3, he looks to be a horse with a nice future, and he did justify being sent around as favourite in this race, albeit you got a touch better than you were getting late there. Got out to $2.60 and $2.80 on the New South Wales tote. Rhythm of Love continues to build into his campaign. I think he's still learning, but he's got a nice future. He just bumped into a good one today in Balkans. A good return to form from Disneck, ridden a touch more quietly, a touch more conservatively. He's hit the line that last little bit, and there'll be a race for him just around the corner, but he might be a pretty smart horse, Balkans.
Absolutely. Just as we wait for the great man Darren Beedman to make his way over. A good point on Disneck. So this is a horse that beat Komochi second up in the debut prep, fifth in a Black Opal, second up last prep, and now has run well again here. So nice to see Disneck bounce back. But as for our winner, All Godolphin Blue, a fantastic performance there. Tough late.
He was. He had to dig deep, and ask for an effort. The other horse, the second horse, served it up to him at the furlong, but he's a real quality colt, this. Bit better than the average Wednesday meeting type of horse. But I'd have to say, like, in all the time that I've been at Godolphin, he's probably one of the most professional horses that I've had anything to do with. He's very, very, just goes about his work, and he's just a real pleasure to work with.
He had every right to hand things up there. Rhythm of Love potentially even out-sprinted him for a brief period, but I thought the last 100 was the strongest.
Yes, he's got a lot of length about him, and he's got a magnificent stride on him, and that'll stand him in good stead when he starts to get up into the better grades. But his attitude really will take him to the next level, and he's a very well composed colt.
His dad was pretty handy too.
Yeah, he was a bit above average.
I think you carried him to a few. Well done. Thank you, Darren. Hopefully we speak again. Over to you, Shani.
Zach, he looks like the ultimate professional. What sort of a feel does he give you?
Yeah, he was a bit colty early, and he's really come along each start, and today he was so good. And especially in this heat, he handled himself really well. Yeah, and he's relaxing in his races, which is helping him finish off nicely. It was a good win.
Tyler loomed up like he was going to go straight past you, but he dug deep and he was able to get a clear margin on him.
Yeah, last start didn't really have to let him off the bridle, so when I had to today, it was good to see him show that bit of fight, and yeah, he was pulling away from them late, so I'd probably suggest he look a bit further in the future, but yeah, nice win.
I got to ask in the first race, how's the track?
Yeah, it's bit dry, bit firm, so I think they might struggle to make up a bit of ground today, but yeah, it's good for me.
Well done, Zach.
Thank you.
Well done to Zach Lloyd. Gets another win aboard at Balkans. As he said, I had a pretty easy time of it last start there at Wyong. A little bit more work late, getting the best out of this 3-year-old son of Lonhro, and he's now got 2 career victories at start number 3. So another success for James Cummings and the team there at Agnes Banks. But 8 wins, 4 for second, 2 third, and the 1 Sovereign Fund, a big gap back to 4th. Pretty hot speed and a hot race, I dare say, going forward. Anthony?
Yeah, he was well supported, wasn't he, Balkans? And he did not let the punters down. And if you shopped early, he was $4.60 when markets first went up, Balkans, even subject to those 22 cents worth of the deductions, which I've mentioned a few times this morning.
The first of 4 rides today for Joe Moreira. Has 4 victory, Afterlight, and Salt Coats is heavily backed in the last. following this. The light is on and we're ready to go. Set here for race 3. Racing now, the favourite began very sharply, Aditi. In contrast, Darling Downs was terribly into stride and is right out the back. Aditi's going to lead for fun here from Choice Legend, and My Mate Kate is quickly swishing up the inside. Then Peer Pressure from Driftnet. Couple further back to Zardi on the outside at Torrey's Rose. Then came Investment Queen of Dragons, and Darling Downs after the sluggish start gives away a big start. So it's the favourite rolling in the lead here, Aditi, for Joe Moreira, out by 2.5 to My Mate Kate, being shaded by Choice Legend the outside. And now Choice Legend edges into a clear second, beating off My Mate Kate. Then Peer Pressure from Driftnet starting a run 3 wide. 3 lengths away to Zardi, then Torrey's Rose, Queen of Dragons, Investment, and Darling Downs coming to the turn. And Aditi shows the way from Choice Legend, just wanting to hang a little bit. Aditi swings in front, 1.5 lengths to Choice Legend. Then came Driftnet making ground. Aditi leads at the 250. She's going well, Aditi. Extends the margin to 3 lengths now on Choice Legend. Then Peer Pressure, and further back to Driftnet. But Aditi, the Magic Man's back in town. Aditi led all the way, beat Choice Legend. Peer Pressure third and Driftnet fourth, followed by Queen of Dragons. Gee, Darling Downs is going to do a good job there. Has beaten about 4 runners home, including Investment, Torrey's Rose, Zardi, and My Mate Kate.
Well, having jumped $2.80 on the local tote, it was Aditi for that man, Joe Moreira. He is back in town, the Magic Man, and gets a win nice and early. Choice Legend, one of the other up-on-speed runners, has stuck on gamely and for second. Peer Pressure there, I think, settled third and ran third. And Driftnet, much the same could be said. Not too many horses ran past others in that race, but 4, 1, 9 and 6, it was all fairly formulaic from the top of the straight. The 3-year-old daughter of Exceed and Excel gets her first victory on the board at start number 3, albeit first run this prep. Brad?
Yeah, the punter's been on song today. 3 races down, 3 favourites, and it has very much been on-speed dominators. So gets the cash there, was well supported straight to the front, and showed a nice little turn of foot to shake off Choice Legend and run right through the line. So, yeah, nice return from this filly who showed plenty in her first start as a 2-year-old. I don't know what happened to her at start 2, but she's obviously come back well and justified that market support. A win is around the corner, surely, for Choice Legend. With her style, she gets out on top of the speed. She'll be winning a maiden shortly. Peer Pressure stuck to a task on the inside, and I thought Driftnet travelled like the winner there at some point in the race, turning for home. She did loom. She'll be better for the run, giving away race experience today, and she too looks a coming winner. But no doubt about the winner. Catch me if you can, and they couldn't.
No, they certainly couldn't. She was fantastic, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was. Showed blistering gate speed. I think Joe's first option there was to get a bit of cover from the headwind today, but I think that quickly went out the door when she jumped so well, and from there he just able to get her into a lovely rhythm. She travelled so great for him throughout, and sort of once they quickened up, he seemed full of running, and I like the way she quickened off that nice tempo.
Between a Maribyrnong Trial and a Blue Diamond Prelude, there were clearly high expectations earlier. You hopeful that this horse can deliver on that this prep?
Yeah, no doubt. You know, she's very much a classy filly, and no doubt she can get back to that grade. Just wanted to get her back and get a bit of confidence, get that important win on the board, and then, you know, I think we can step her up in grade. I think off the back of that performance, what we've seen, no doubt there's a bit of improvement to come. Nice
option to have the Magic Man, Joe Moreira, here in town at the midweeks.
Yeah, certainly. You know, as I said, just things were falling into place for her, you know, with this, you know, particular race put on, the Super Maidens and the Magic Man being available. It looked too good to refuse.
Yeah, job well done. Well done to you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you to Adrian Bott. So they get another win on the board with the very promising Aditi. As I said there, Shani, when you have a look back at the past couple of starts, that was a pretty hot race, that Maribyrnong Trial, as it is each and every year, and even the Blue Diamond Prelude. You know, all of those horses have grand ambitions. They clearly thought a lot of this girl, and she showed a lot today, only off the back of one trial too. She'll improve off that.
Yeah, she was pretty quick out of those gates, wasn't she? And that helped her, because we heard Zach say in the previous that he doesn't think they're really going to make a lot of ground, and she was just off and gone and they weren't able to make the ground. So it suited her, and we just heard Darren say hold all tickets as well regarding the start with Darling Downs. So we'll get confirmation as soon as we can, and we'll have a chat to Rajal, who has arrived back in Australia, and his first ride here, and he gets the job done on this filly who looks an exciting prospect, an Exceed and Excel filly out of a Lonhro mare called Witches. Just over here. Welcome back to Australia, and that was a nice way to begin your I guess your campaign here in Australia again.
Thanks, dear. She's such a nice filly, isn't she? She's done just everything straightforward for me. She hits the line like a horse that has got plenty left in herself. I mean, she did win with some authority, and no doubt that she made my job so easy today.
Did she surprise you how well she left the gates? Because Adrian said your first thought was you wanted a little bit of cover, but that was out the door. Yeah, when she jumped so well like that, I couldn't go for plan B. I just had to let she stride out forward. She threw wide, so I just didn't cover those fellas on my inside straight away. So I gave her time to just then smoothly come across and get in front. But once we were approaching to the home turn, I started to ask her to build up momentum. She responded very, very nicely. So, as I said, she did win with some authority. How's it feel being back in Australia? You'd be used to this heat. I'm used to the heat, but as I said in the past, Australia is a lovely place, and I'm extremely happy to be around once again. It's great to have you back. Well done. Thank you.
Yeah, fantastic to have him back in town. He was favourite for the Jockey Challenge and picks up 3 points there with Aditi. And we say it time and time again, but this stable and the way they overcome the wide barriers, drawn barrier 10 there, and Aditi's able to shoot across and see it out with a fair margin back to that second horse. In terms of the minors, a nice run by Choice Legend in for second, Peer Pressure third and Driftnet fourth, as mentioned by Shani. Hold all tickets, that's in regards to Darling Downs. From what we've seen was slowly away, and I can tell you Jason Collett straight away had a look over to his right. I'm not sure whether that was towards the starter or just querying something, but either way they've missed it considerably. So hold all tickets and we'll keep you updated on that front. A few races down here at Warwick Farm. First leg of the quaddie coming up at 3:10 local.
From a bad draw has been well backed today at 480, and a Spaltet. Riding commission as well as Spaltet, runner-up at Hawkesbury last time out, behind the long price Construction Master. And with the booking of National Willer, Spaltet into 480. So the sprue course here, Mr. Buster goes in and Smoke Bomb's the last. Smoke Bomb locked away and we're ready to go. Race 4 at Warwick Farm. And they're off and racing. Sailor left well off the inside, so did Smoke Bomb the other. Mr. Buster's there, drifting back a little bit as Spaltet drives forward for Victory handy. So the favourite, Mr. Buster, will ease back to fifth, and Eastern Glow down to the rails, and 3 lengths to Dr. Evil. Good go up front, and the roughie Smoke Bomb goes on with the job, and McAvoy takes it to the front. Smoke Bomb by 2 lengths on Spaltet. Sailor tucked in third on the rails, followed by Eastern Glow on the inside of Mr. Buster. Looks like the pair might be jostling a bit there as Mr. Buster drops back now, so it's 4 Victory on the outside of Eastern Glow. Mr. Buster back to second last, and Dr. Evil is the last one. So the 30-1 outsider, Smoke Bomb leads the way by a length on Spaltet. Sailor third, 4 Victory goes to a clear fourth. Then came Eastern Glow, the heavily back Mr. Buster, the former UK runner second last, and Dr. Evil held up the fence last of all. So Smoke Bomb shows the way, still a length in front of Spaltet, half on the inside to Sailor. Then came more Victory from Eastern Glow. Mr. Buster is starting to warm up on the outside, and 2 lengths away to Dr. Evil. So Smoke Bomb shows the way, travelling to the corner. A half length on Spaltet, getting the wind resistance the outside. 4 Victory peeling 3 wide now. Mr. Buster gets onto his back. Smoke Bomb turns in front of Spaltet, and 4 Victory now. Mr. Buster is revved up, coming down the outside. Eastern Glow racing, held up, getting a gap now. It's Spaltet at the 200, getting a length and a half clear. Kicking well here, Spaltet. They're queued up for the minors. Spaltet too good. Mr. Buster will grab second, a nose in front of Sailor. Then Eastern Glow, followed by Smoke Bomb for Victory and Dr. Evil.
6, 5, 2 and 1 by the looks of things. Spoltet, which was up on speed, making its own luck, just drifted out 3 or 4 horsewits late, and that made things a little bit difficult for some horses like Eastern Glow to work into the race. They had to tuck back towards the inside. No interference worthy of an objection, but Mr. Buster comes down the outside in for second, and Sailor ultimately running third with, I think, Eastern Glow in for fourth. There wasn't much separating those, but Spoltet has won under good riding from Natural Willer. He's in a hot patch of form at the moment. $5 and $2.30 about our winner.
This horse wasn't the quickest into stride, so it was plan B. There was the intention to lead today, but that slow getaway, so that plan went out the window. But a nice, cool, calm, collected ride, as you'd expect from Natural Willer thereafter. Just took that trail in behind, peeled him out at the top of the straight, and he was in for the fight. When you thought those just making their runs wider were going to come right into play, he was winning and going away on the line. So Mr. Buster, an encouraging debut, Australian debut for him. He'll be better as he gets over further money left in the bag today. Eastern Glow was squeezing through the gap. A little bit disappointing for victory, and that should top off Sailor quite nicely next time. Third up, he'll be ready to peak himself. But Gets the Chocolates today was well set up. Third up out to the mile, Spoltet, and goes one better than last start.
Yeah, just as a couple of them were looking to work off the fence and work into the race, they were always going to be dictated to. Jason Collett did a really good job there with Mr. Buster, just keeping them in. Eastern Glow was certainly one of those, and now all eyes towards that run in 3 weeks' time. It was certainly travelling well, but as for our winner, Spoltet, did a fantastic job. Luke, Staple must be happy with what you saw there.
Yeah, very happy. We're actually very confident that he'd run really well today. His first 2 runs have been really good, and his second run just didn't have a lot of luck. He was caught a bit wide and didn't look to be a lot of pressure, and Sid and Nash just put him right there, and hopefully he can tough it out, and he was really good. He's a very nice horse moving forward.
Yeah, he took a couple of runs last preparation as well, and third up managed to salute, so hopefully he can build from this now.
Yeah, definitely. I think the best is ahead of him, and he can get a bit further too.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you think the ideal trip will be?
Yeah, I think he'll get out to 2,000 metres. Obviously ticked the box of the mile today, and yeah, we'll just find a nice race for him, but it was good win for the owners.
Having Nash on helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. We decided, we're tossing up whether we put blinkers on, and we thought we'll go with Nash instead. So
he's the stronger of the two. Well done to you.
Thanks.
Thanks to Luke Hilton there, and well done to Bjorn Baker's team. They get a victory with Spoltet. And Spoltet has now won back-to-back preparations, third up, Shani, so there's a bit of a pattern there. Just needs a couple of runs to find its feet.
Yeah, he does. You can tell by that, just looking at him, he needs a few runs to come to hand. Nash, that worked out well. I know he was a little bit tardy out of the gates, but you end up in a nice position.
Yeah, just he was a bit sticky out of the draw, and thankfully we had that draw because he was able to take advantage of it, you know, as we found our feet. But yeah, look, the stable were very confident, and he's ran right up to expectations. He travelled like the winner from a long way out, and quickened to put him into the side at the right time.
Yeah, thinking he'll get out to 2,000 metres, that wouldn't be a wee issue?
No, look, he's the sort of horse who seemed to enjoy, you know, getting into that rhythm and finding his feet, and you know, I believe he'll be a nice on-pace runner, but you know, to give a good kick over 2,000, he's going to be hard to run down. He's, you know, with the right stable, it always had to get past.
Well done, Nash.
Cheers.
Yeah, congratulations to Natural Willer getting a win with Spoltet, and did get up to the 2,000 metres last preparation there at Kembla. Looked absolutely beaten on that occasion. Lifted itself off the canvas and got a win on the board. So we know that this 6-year-old son of Savabeel can certainly get a trip, and it sounds as though that's the plan for next start. Natural Willer happy, Team Bjorn Baker happy.
The Milky Bar Kid out to 440 with Tab and has just touched $5 on the NOP. So far, the Milky Bars have been on the bookies all preparation. Casual Connection goes in, and Condra now is the last to go forward, drawn the outside barrier. So Shadow Park drawn the fence. Off the map here, and the light is on. We're ready to go. Set now. and they're off and racing. Lady Redwood jumped a bit awkwardly and was snagged right back to a conspicuous last. Now, looking for the best of them, the Milky Bar Kid and Yoda, they're the two. Mr. Bond races handy on the outside of Shafty, then Casual Connection with plenty of cover, clear from Condra, then the heavily back Shadow Park, and Lady Redwood sees them all. The Milky Bar Kid, in the hands of Amy McLucas today, is bowling along in the lead. 10 minutes ago, it was the 250 favourite. It's going to SP at $5, and the Milky Bar Kid at the mile mark leads the way by 2 lengths on Yoda. Shafty on the fence, third inside Mr. Bond. 3 further back to Casual Connection, then Condra, and the heavily back favourite now Shadow Park. And Lady Redwood's the last one, and about 9 lengths off the lead. So the Milky Bar Kid bowling along in the lead, approaching the halfway mark, 2 lengths clear from Yoda. Then Mr. Bond set up on the outside of Shafty, no change to the order. Further back to Casual Connection. Well back then is Condra from Shadow Park, and 2 lengths to Lady Redwood, who sees them all. So it's the Milky Bar Kid. Can he keep going today? Massive drifter in the betting. The Milky Bar Kid a half in front now to Yoda at the 1,000 metres. 2.5 further back to Mr. Bond on the outside of Shafty. Further back to Casual Connection, Condra. Now, this heavily back favourite is still back second last on the fence, Shadow Park, being kept company by Lady Redwood. So the Milky Bar Kid at the 700, 3/4 in front, to Yoda. Then Shafty and Mr. Bond. Not much has happened here. Further back to Condra on the outside of Casual Connection. Now 3 further back to Shadow Park. Tyler Schiller really starting to wind it up. Lady Redwood still sticking with it on the outside. The Milky Bar Kid under siege now coming to the turn. Yoda travels up. Mr. Bond pulls out. Condra pulls out. Casual Connection to the outside. And Shadow Park's in a tricky position. Schiller will need to ride for luck. Milky Bar Kid's gone again. Condra, Casual Connection move up. Shadow Park trying to squeeze into a gap. Oh, there's no run there. Casual Connection, Condra. Mr. Bond shoots through on the inside. Mr. Bond, yes. Saddlecloth 7. Mr. Bond beat Casual Connection. Condra maybe third in front of Shadow Park. That was an ugly watch up the straight. Couldn't get a fair crack at them. Then Yoda from Shafty, Lady Redwood, and once again, the Milky Bars are on the bookies. It's front last.
Yeah, certainly something amiss there. $2.50 out to $5 told the tale, and the Milky Bar Kid has struggled once again. Unlike Mr. Bond, $14, $10 and $3. Karen McAvoy did the steering. That's career victory number 4 at start number 19 and ends a run of 770 days between drinks. Casual Connection made a run down the outside, loomed into the race and just bumped into one better. It's time for the minors. The 9 certainly prominent, that being Condrieu, and the desperately unlucky Chateau Park, who I think it's fair to say with clear running should have been winning and winning relatively easily. We're about to have a look at the head-on, and I can tell you the gap between Mr. Bond and that horse Condrieu just would not open up. They shifted out and tried to go inside another of the runners in Casual Connection. Again, that didn't open up. To the outside they came and ultimately went down half a length. But Mr. Bond wins, and that's unfortunately the end of it. Bradley?
Yeah, no matter what angle you watch it from, it doesn't get any easier if you're on Chateau Park there. But Mr. Bond, yep, 2 years out of the winner's circle, the right spot at the right time. Busy finish, just half a length through the first 4 across the line. But a nicely timed ride there from Karen McAvoy just to poke him through that tight gap. And he hit the line and did enough at the finish. So Condrieu, a nice performance there, up in grade, coming off a Class 1 victory. So obviously a galloper with a future over further. Casual Connection stuck to his task. He's a one-pace kind of stayer. So another win looks around the corner for him in a similar race, probably over a touch further, ready for the 2,400 metres. But Mr. Bond, it's hard to deny a horse when he's been out of the winner's tour for a while, but he's typically very honest, and he had his day today.
Yeah, certainly did. Andre's here from Brad Widdop's team. Has been up a little while, 2 years between drinks. Finally, today's the day for Mr. Bond. It's good.
Yeah, no, certainly has been a long time. He had a couple of setbacks. He's come back from a tendon injury, and he managed to hurt himself in the stable one night also. So, yeah, no, it's been a long road to recovery, and it's really good to get the win today.
Sounds as though it's been a real tale of perseverance.
No, it certainly has, and credit to Brad and obviously all the team for. There's been a lot of hours of hard work going into this horse, and today we were quite. I told Karen to be mindful of this last couple of starts have been sit and sprint affairs, and just let Karen know to just really keep an eye on that pace, and he's a bit of a one-pace stayer.
He certainly did a good job though late when others had their opportunity to get past. He said, no, I'm having none of that.
Yeah, no, he pushed his way through a nice gap there and got the job done.
Brilliant work. Well done to you and the team.
Thank you.
I love hearing those stories, Shani. It sounds as though they've had a fair bit of adversity with this horse, but when you persevere, the day will eventually come. And 770 days, it's been a long wait with a few hiccups in between, but well done to the team.
Yeah, well done. They've been very patient with him, and he was deserving of that, Mac. It didn't look like there was much room between Keegan and Tom, but he's a big boy and he pushed his way through.
Yeah, he's a big lad. He travelled around nice, but he was bone idle when you get him off the bridle. He was coming good, and that little bit of a buffet actually woke him up. So I was pleased with that. 10 yards later, I thought I'm the winner now. So it was just what he needed to kick him into gear.
He's a horse that obviously hasn't won for a long time, but that'll help him now going forward.
Yeah, well, Andre, he's given me nice instructions actually. He said, look, his last couple haven't really suited and they've been sort of sit sprints. Today we had the luxury of a nice draw. And we went out there with the plan to be third, fourth, and that gave us an option to adapt to how the tempo was. But it's a nice even tempo the whole way, and he's able to build momentum. And a few runs into this preparation, good to see him win again.
Well done, Mac.
Thanks.
Yeah, well done to Karen McAvoy. Isn't it funny how some horses, when they're strung up in traffic, there's only half a gap and they shirk it. Other horses get a hip and shoulder and suddenly they're in the race and think, I'd love to be in a dogfight, and Mr. Bond is certainly one of those. Puts a bit of juice into the quaddie, 14.10 on the local tote. Casual Connection's gone agonisingly close, loomed into the race, but just, bumped into one better and had a head start too on Mr. Bond. Condria in for third, and undoubtedly the luckless story of the race. Chateau Park will have to wait another day. Already has a win this prep for Jason Coyle, but we'll have to wait another day to add a victory to its name again. That'll do us. 2 legs into the quaddie. We'll see you ahead of the penultimate here, race number 6 coming up.
OK, good on you, Ben. Great to see Mr. Bolton back in the winner's circle. He had a long break there. He didn't run from January 2022 until April. Of It Had to Be Zoo, horse number 2, and that took out 17 cents the win, 17 cents the place. Here's Darren.
A passenger at that point, and obviously she's a late scratching. So a bit of a shoulder injury for Josh. He's in the ambulance behind the gates, and we're ready to go. Demiana returning today. She's an odds-on favourite now. And the gates are back, they're off. Demiana jumped well. Afterlight was nicely into stride as well. And it looks as though Marrero will take the front there on Afterlight from Sweet Mercy. Demiana settling in third. Hello, another incident. Lucky Varieties lost the rider out of the gates. Very Sharp settled second last, and La Patrice is last of all. So the riderless runner, Lucky Varieties, shot through to take the lead. It's Afterlight 3 lengths in front of Sweet Mercy. Then came the odds-on favourite Demiana. 2 further back to Very Sharp, and a half the outside to La Patrice. So we're down to 5 competing in the race now, and it's Afterlight, a long leader coming to the corner. 6 in front now to Sweet Mercy, and Demiana, she just wants to lay out a little bit. She might be more interested in meeting the riderless horse. So into the straight. Can Afterlight keeps it going. Jo had a very cheeky look over the shoulder. She's 6 lengths in front, Afterlight. From Demiana is flat to the boards in second, and then came Sweet Mercy, but Afterlight's a mile in front, and in a race marked with plenty of incidents before, during and after, Afterlight won it comfortably from Demiana. Sweet Mercy's run third, Very Sharp fourth, La Patrice fifth. And we'll just see what happened with Lucky Variety there, whether there was an incident in the gates. We did have one earlier today, but a big win to Afterlight and a double for Joe Marrero.
Absolutely. We'll discuss Afterlight in 2 ticks. In terms of lucky variety, Dylan Gibbons falling off just after the start, and the report on him, he is sitting upright, so that is good news about Dylan. I will discuss the update with Josh later on too. Dylan Gibbons now on his feet, so that is a positive. Lucky variety going around riderless. But as for the winner, Afterlight, well, we discussed this horse in the preview, this daughter of I Am Invincible. She just went to another level there at Scone, beating Allabent, who then went on to win 3 straight off the back of that. And this just shows she's gone to a whole new level, this preparation. She could do anything. Demiana, who was well backed to beat Afterlight, has been beaten into a distant second. Sweet Mercy third, and then Very Sharp fourth. There's going to be a lot of discussion about the incidents pre, during, maybe even post, Brad. But Afterlight deserves a bit of chat because that was one hell of a win.
Yeah, a bit to unpack there, wasn't there? So hopefully both jockeys are okay first and foremost, but I guess they don't call him the Magic Man for nothing. It was a race that didn't have a natural leader, and Joa went straight to the front, and didn't she show a nice turn of foot there? She looked to run along at a good clip and then showed a nice turn of foot, and wins eased down, beating the stablemate, who was $1.65 there at the end. So, yeah, a nice win, and it's amazing what a maiden victory can do for a galloper. She'd always teased ability, went right on with it the back end of last campaign, winning it at Scone there and coming from last. So she's shown tactical versatility, a great trial ahead of her return, and she's gone to a whole new level. So clearly a very confident mare at the moment. Demiana, she'll be better if she gets out over a touch further. Just bumped into a stablemate that was in too good a form today, and Sweet Mercy, likewise, she'll be better as she gets out over further. She came here with no official trial. But what have we got in our hands here, Afterlight? I don't know, but certainly a horse that could potentially go right through the grades.
Yeah, I was just joking with Charlie that I reckon she just waited until I jumped off her, back to 7 starts in a row. Then she broke through at Scone and looked like Winks, and then today she's won well again. That is a hell of an elevation into another prep.
Yeah, it is. Look, the trainer, owners, all connections were beginning to have their patience tested, and obviously we sent to Scone. Thought we'd give her an easy kill, try and give her an easy kill, and she absolutely annihilated them down there. And then we were still umming and ahhing whether we put her in the mare's sale or whether we give her one more prep, and luckily we did give her one more prep, and she's returned in excellent fashion.
She certainly has, and showing a bit of versatility too there up on speed. Joa, he was just giggling to himself at the 200.
Yeah, wasn't he? Look, I don't know whether he was aided or hindered by the loose horse, but look, it was a scruffy race, but we managed to get a lovely result out of it, and obviously just hope Josh Parr's okay.
Yep, Josh and Dylan hopefully okay. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you to Charlie. Yeah, so Dylan falling mid-race, but sounds as though all is okay there. Shani,
No, Dylan fell out of the gates. She stumbled out of the gates.
Right,
and
okay.
that's what happened to Dylan. Well, whatever could go wrong went wrong, but that riderless horse wasn't really helping you, but then it may have.
Well, I'm not sure what's happening behind me, but unfortunately, when it came around me and put a little bit of pressure on my horse, didn't help me. At the end of the day, I found myself behind it, having something to follow. Drifted out at the 500, gave me the passage on the inside. So my feeling, she was just going so well, and she did win impressively. So let's not give credit to the issue that went on. Sometimes it can happen. Hopefully the little kid is not hurt, and let's move on.
She's a nice filly though going forward.
She is. She did win with plenty in hand.
Well done.
I'm just proud. Thank you.
Well done.
Yeah, congratulations, Joa. He picks up a double here today at Warwick Farm. What a luxury to have him here. Let's get back to the studio because there's a race pressing up in Queensland.
Okay, good on you, Ben. Afterlight wins first up from the break, makes it back-to-back wins. It took her 8 or 9 starts to win a race, and now she's won back-to-back, a $580,000 yearling purchase.
Pressuring Saltcoats for favouritism here in the last. They completely stifled the market. Dylan Gibbons fine from his fall, his tumble out of the gates in the previous unlucky variety, to the extent he's the substitute rider for Josh Parr in the last year on the long price Cognac. So up they come for the last year over the 1,300 metres. Joe Morera shooting for a riding treble. He's aboard Saltcoats for Chris Waller. Joe coming here with 4 rides today, and he's won 2 out of 3 as Pervade goes in. And we're getting close now for the last race of the day. Silvanito moves up to the wide draw, and they're all locked and loaded. Bang, they're off now and racing in the last. And Rise of the Masses sealed up out of the gates. Avery jumped quite well. And Saltcoats holding a forward roll. Street Gossip's not too far from the speed. Silvanito drifting back a bit on the outside of Pervade. 2 lengths away to Cognac. And last of all is Brenner. It's Rise of the Masses staying off the fence. And Saltcoats is rolling through to join it. A length and a half clear from Avery and Street Gossip under restraint 4th. Silvanito got on heels there. Silvanito getting up on the outside now, Street Gossip. Cognac on the fence from Pervade, and Brunner's last of all. So Silvanito's going to go right back to 3rd last now, and it's Saltcoats, the drifting favourite, being eyeballing. Rise of the Masses, the pair go stride for stride. Avery with the sitting shot 3rd, then Cognac from Street Gossip. Oh, this is a horrible watch on Silvanito. I don't want shares on it. Coming around the turn, Saltcoats and Rise of the Masses. Rise of the Masses turns the screws there on Saltcoats. Rise of the Masses got a half length clear. Avery's the fresh one on the scene. Rise of the Masses, Avery joining at the outside. Clear from Saltcoats, holding down 3rd. Rise of the Masses and Avery. Avery stretching now. Avery joining Rise of the Masses, who's brave. I reckon it's kicked. Rise of the Masses a short half head to Avery. Saltcoats 3rd, followed by Cognac, Street Gossip, Pervade. Then came Brenner. And Silvanito's been retired out of the race. Photo in the last.
Yeah, all eyes on Silvanito in terms of being at the back of the field and not offering too much. Got on heels and maybe just found a drama there. But the winner, Rise of the Masses, how brave was that? Avery loomed up on the outside and just could not go past. $14.60 and $1.30. I dare say a few more punters were in the Avery camp, so they'll be absolutely filthy. But the margin about half a head in the end. Saltcoats. Well, Saltcoats had the inside of Rise of the Masses and was gone at about the 300 or so. Cognac's run into 4th, good run for the new stable at 4, 10, 8 and 2. Rise of the Masses was just too tough for them.
Yep, that's now 3 on the day for Gai Waterhouse and Adrian Bott under the urgings there of Adam Hieronymus. Avery did look to have him cold there in the straight, and he just refused to lose. So good to see him bounce back to his best form. He promised a lot as a 2-year-old. He did lose his way, but he is back. So good gaps back throughout the field. Avery can go one better surely the next time we see her at the races. She's a handy mare, and it's good to see her bounce back to her best form. No excuses for Saltcoats. Did find himself in front. It was a big drifter late, and the market got that 100% bang on. He just didn't offer that same turn of foot that we saw from him last start. So we'll see what the wash-up is there. Cognac, he stuck to his task quite well. He'll be better as he gets out over further, but an encouraging return under the new training ship of Joe Pride. And yeah, we'll have to see what happened with Silvanito, but he never looked to travel, and Nash Ruella was quick to pull him up there, turning for home. So he never looked comfortable in the run. But Rise of the Masses rounds out a big day for Gai Waterhouse and Adrian Bott.
Absolutely, 3 on the day for them. And I think it's fair to say the last 2 preparations, he just hasn't been himself. It was nice to see him return well.
Yeah, he had a throat issue that had to sort of fix up, so he's come back now. Better in better shape, and good tough win there today. Didn't necessarily get things his own way. I don't think he was ever sort of really able to find a nice rhythm throughout the race. So for that pressure and to be able to sort of pick himself up late was good.
Did you feel as though there was more in the locker as Avery just loomed up on the outside there at the 150?
I must say I was concerned just sort of with the work that we'd done and sort of the economical run that it had him behind. So great to see him dig deep, the 1300 first up. It was certainly very tough.
It was good to see. Well done. Good day from you guys.
Thanks very much.
Adrian Bott there, he and Gai Waterhouse, what a prolific team they are. And so too with this fella, Adam Hieronymus, who's had a big day. Rise of the Masses, rose above them all.
Yeah, Ad's had a good day, well done. He just wouldn't lay down, would he?
No, it's a very tough effort today, and not only that, he enjoyed it. It was good, it was pleasing.
Have you been riding work or anything? I know you haven't been on him in his trials.
No, I haven't had a great deal to do with him this preparation, so it's pleasing to get on today. And he jumped well. There's pressure from my inside, but it's a beauty. But straight run down the back. I just had to ride my own horse, and he's in a nice rhythm. And like I said, he really enjoyed being competitive throughout the whole race. He travelled very strong, nice and comfortably, and I knew he was fit, and I put the pressure on early, and he was tough late.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, fantastic work from Adam. Another big day from him. Rise of the Masses, probably pegged as a wet tracker at one point, and then just had the one run here at Warwick Farm over the 1300 last prep. That was on a heavy track, and when he failed, we thought, well, where is he now? It's been 550 odd days between drinks, but he's bounced back beautifully. $16 in the end, top fluck. S-Speed at 13, 14.60 on the local tote. Avebury has run well in for second, albeit absolutely looked to have the race shot to pieces at the 100-metre mark. Saltcoats looked to have every chance and was just out-muscled by Rise of the Masses, and the two will ultimately run in for fourth. That is Cognac. But a big, big day for the Waterhouse and Bott team and Adam Hieronymus. 61 kilos carried to victory in the last. Thanks to Brad Gray and to Chantel Buckley, the team in the truck, and of course back in studio. Quick update on Josh Parr. He has been taken off to hospital. So he was being treated here on track, but he's been taken to hospital for scans, and fingers crossed those x-rays are all clear and he's feeling okay. We'll say goodbye from Warwick Farm. We'll catch you next time.
Good on you, Ben. Thank you for your help throughout the afternoon. Brad Gray on the tip, and also Chantel. Great job from the mounting yard. We will see you shortly. Ben's about to come into the studio for News Central this evening with myself and Neil Breen, 7 p.m. here on Sky Thoroughbred Central. Rise of the Masses wins the last, and he records his third win from start, number 9. Very well bred, this fellow. He's by Russian Revolution. The dam is Rude Awakening. She was a New Zealand mare. She won 5 of her first 6. She was a Group 1 winner in New Zealand as a 2-year-old, and she even came out here for the Golden Slipper. Never quite recaptured that 2-year-old form. I don't think she won again after that, but she was a very, very good 2-year-old. Rude Awakening. And Rise of the Masses, the son of Russian Revolution, scores in the last. Avebury second, Saltcoats third, and Cognac in for fourth. So 4, 10, 8 and 2 interim dividends only.